Hi, welcome to one more Plotly tutorial video. In this video, we're going to explore how to create a table with a drill down functionality. This is particularly handy if you have a dashboard that you want to inspect more and more the type of data that you're showing. To illustrate this functionality and what we're going to learn in this tutorial, I created a simple example. So let's imagine that we have a dealership which we sell different cars of different brands, and we want to take a look in the inventory and how are our sales performing and which kind of models we have. So this is all the brands that we have at our store, and this is the number of models that we have in the store of each brand. And then you want to click in one brand, let's say Honda, and then it goes to the second level, which shows the models. And then if you click in this second level, we can check, we can take a look in how is the performance of sales, for example, for Civic or for Accord and so on. So I'm super excited to share with you this, how to create this dashboard. So let's go for the code. Initially, I'm just starting this dashboard like the other ones we saw in the previous videos, all the libraries required. And in this case, I'm going to use three data sets, one each representing each level. So the brands table is the first level, so we show the brands. The second one I'm calling the models, and then the third one is the sales. So it represents the date we sold each car here. And there are three separate CSV files. All this code is also in the GitHub, so you can take a look later, and also the source files to run this properly. Also declaring some layouts as usual, and here we start our layout app. As usual, we have the header, and here we start with the two drop downs, two filters here, and the two buttons, which has the ID filter X, filter Y, button, reset chart, and in the previous level. Here is one of the new thing that we're going to learn in this video, which is the Dtc Store. It's a pretty handy component made by Plotly, which allows you to save information in the memory of the browser, and when someone leaves the website, it got erased. It's super handy. You can use them to understand where are each step. So let's say a person click in the Honda, and then drill down again. When you go previous level, you have to remember that the selected one was Honda. So this is for this functionality. We're going to take a better look soon. And two simple components here. One is a graph and one is a data table. It's a new component. It's pretty good. It's an evolution of the experimental data tables. They're working pretty well. So, and then to make our life easier, I created two functions. One for create a table and one for creating a chart. And we're going to use those functions in our callbacks. So the first thing is, if you try to make a callback that the information from the component is used as an input and the output is the same component, you'll see that dash breaks. It doesn't accept. It says like dependency error or something like this, and it's not possible. So the first challenge is to overcome this problem, and then I figured out how to do this by returning actually a whole structure of HTML div instead of just the chart. So in this case, I'm going to return this whole stuff here, HTML div, which contains also the data table with the correct ID for the table, and then contains also class name and style and everything, instead of just returning the table. And for this, I created a component with ID table box and return the children, which basically accepts everything, and use as an input the table which is inside this table box. So in this way, it doesn't break. It doesn't say, okay, there's a loop there that's not acceptable. In a little bit, a little detail about this, a little information about this detail is here, which I put the component called table box, which is that whole structure of HTML div, and then the whole block, like this whole block here. And also I had to declare the data table with empty information inside with this display equals to none. So just to initialize the table, and because if I don't do this, it will complain that there's some input in the callback which is not here initially, so it's necessary. But as the display equals to none, it's not going to be shown to the user at all. So just a hacky way to make it work. In this callback, we accept several inputs here. So of course, two drop downs. Some action is happening so here, right? When we select some filter, it filters the table. Very basic. Second and third and fourth inputs is the button and the back button. So what previous level or the complete reset of the chart. And the two last ones is the selected cell and one thing that we're going to talk more now. So the selected cell basically returns the information of the cell that you just clicked. So it understands that you click in the Honda, it understands that you click in the Ford now, and in the EcoSport line, and so on. So starting with how we designed this callback, let's say we just changed the drop-down selection. And this is very easy. I create a copy of the first level here every time this callback starts, and then I filter using pandas. And then after that, if no button is clicked, no back button is clicked, or no selection of the cell is performed, we just return the table, the filter table, if there's any filter. If the button I mean the reset chart button is clicked, then I'm going to return the main table here with the filters applied if there's some. Second one is back button. Here is more complex because you have to remember what brand a user clicked. So you go to previous level, you have to select all the Toyotas. In this case, you have to remember that it's a BMW. So to this case, we use what we mentioned before, which is the Dtc Store. You can also have more information in the dash user guide, which has one session dedicated to this part of the store in the dash core components with some examples. Store here and more store examples and references. It's pretty good session for you to learn different ones. But basically what it gets, what it is it stores a JSON-like file in your memory of the browser, and then you can retrieve this. So let's take a look how is the memory callback working. That is going to feed these two next sections of our callback, which is the back button and the selected cell. We need to remember some information in order to move forward or move back, and I'll show you why now, because this new callback is the memory, is the one that I told you that stores the memory in the memory of the browser some information, and here is just it accepts the selected cell and the virtual data from the cell. Why we should use these two one instead of just one information from the table is we're going to see now. So let me print here what comes from the selected cell, and we will see that refreshing here and clicking, we'll see that it's just like zeros and ones, and like it's just the coordinate of the cells that we're clicking. So it is not something very useful for us. We should how can differentiate, for example, which zero is if it's clicking forward, or if we're clicking in the echo sport, or if the zero is actually in an accord, right? That's why I use the second component, the second input, which I call table, which comes from the virtual data. And when we print this, we can actually see that, refresh this, that the information is here. So then we have now a pair. We click the number 1 from this model here, which is like, so this is 0, okay, and then this is 1, so it's like Toyota Camry, and then it goes to the Camry. When we hit back, we understand that we were in the Camry, and we should go back one level to the point of Toyota. Okay, so this state here is returned to the original callback we were talking about as a state memory, which is this ID here that we put right on the top, this Dtc Store with ID equals to memory. So moving forward in our callback that creates a table, I always keep this back button because it's better for us to see how we move forward, and then we understand how we move back. So if there's a selection in the table, then I create some rules. Here is if there's average price in the information that we store, in the current table, then it understands that you should move forward for the next level, which is the models. If price, so if there's average price here and we click, we should go for the second level. If there's price, which is a unique column here that differentiates all the tables, this table for all the tables, we should go for the next level. And if we hit here in the table that we have date, which is unique among all, do nothing. And the way we do nothing is to erase, like prevent update. Sometimes it creates something like, there is no index, but it will not break. Then the same principle happens for the back button, but then the opposite. If we click in the back button and the information that was stored in the state is some table, so we should go one level back. Let's just take a quick look in how is this current table stored. In this case, I managed to save here 3 pieces of information. One is the data, which is the table that we just clicked. Second is the brand. Let's take a look here in this. One is data, one is brand, and one is model. So I know that which table we just clicked. I know which brand we just selected, and I know which model we selected. So when I click in the previous button, I know that which brand was selected before, or which model was selected before. So I don't lose myself in this one. Let's see now what I also have to show you, because these make all the rules here. The center of this dashboard is the table. Everything that shows in the table, it's reflected in the chart. So see, here it has like model as x-axis, average price as y, and I change here and then it becomes price and sales, and then here XY. I don't know what are those, but I just created choose for this example here. And how we do this is basically we accept as an input the table, and we output the chart with ID chart2, and the same principle as the move back and forth is applied here when you show the chart. So if average price is in the table, in the current table, we use as x-axis the models and average price as the y. If price is in there in the column names, we use price and sales. If date, we use x and y, and so on. No secret here. So I think I should everything that I wanted to teach you in this tutorial. The main point is how do you overcome the problem of having the one component as input and output at the same time. So we have to create a way to not do this. Second, how to recognize the clicks and how we turn the clicks into useful information for our code to understand where we want to go. Okay. Then here there's a flaw, not a flaw, but then if you have a table that has all the drill downs have the same name of a column, you have to find a logic, because here I use as a main point that all the tables have at least one different column. So I recognize where I want to go based on this. If your drill down has the same name of the columns, you have to find out a way to create this logic, but then everything is possible. You can create virtual ways to do this. Then thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next one. Thank you very much.